and welcome to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's only local morning show, giving you exclusive access into people, businesses, and events in our community. We're bringing you this show live daily, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. with your host, me, Maddie Muschin. Before we dive into today's show, every week we highlight someone, an educator, student, business, or organization from our Greater West Bloomfield community, going above and beyond. If you would like to submit an entry for someone, you can scan the QR code on the screen, fill out the Google form with the person's name, their contact information, and reasons why you think they should be recognized here on the Splash Live for our Person of the Week. Now let's go check out what's going on in our Greater West Bloomfield community. The first event we want to look at is the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society Open House. This is happening on Sunday, March 13th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Orchard Lake Museum. Here you can see exhibits and videos about the F4 tornado that damaged dozens of West Bloomfield homes and businesses on March 20th, 1976. During this open house, you can learn about this important historical event in our community history and enjoy the newly reopened Orchard Lake Museum with its new exhibits. This event is free, and you can contact the Historical Society or visit their website at gwbhs.org for more information. Our next ongoing event is the Connect Center at West Bloomfield, at Orchard Mall, West Bloomfield. Their ongoing events. They have a ton of great events and activities for our seniors in our community. Some of those events coming up are their Nature Walk at dusk next Wednesday night. Here you can hike around with the animals and enjoy being active at dusk. This walk will be an easy terrain hike that will only be about a mile long. You may be able to even spot some animals and learn more about them from a West Bloomfield Parks naturalist. They also have an upcoming Senior Resource Group Talk Time event next Wednesday. The Senior Resource Group is a network of professionals connected through the West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce that look to connect their seniors and families with knowledge and resources on relevant topics in today's environment. This specific Talk Time theme is Keep on the Beat to Better Health. Here you'll be able to get active by working out with Dina Raptis from Drums Alive. You can talk about financial health and taxes with representatives from Block Advisors. And you can talk about safety with seniors with Chief Patton from the West Bloomfield Police Department. For all these events, you can register on the West Bloomfield Parks website under the registration tab. Our next event is next Monday. We will be airing the 4th annual State of the Communities Address here on Civic Center TV and also on the radio at 89.3 Lakes FM. This event will bring the 4 leaders from our communities in Orchard Lake, Sylvan Lake, Keego Harbor, and West Bloomfield together to talk about topics that are impacting our Greater West Bloomfield community. You can tune in to hear your local leaders talk about topics such as the coronavirus pandemic, infrastructure, housing, and development at 7 p.m. here on Civic Center TV. This event will also be available on our on-demand page on civiccentertv.com after the event if you're unable to tune in live here at 7 p.m. If you have an event you would like us to feature, you can send us a message on our social media pages at Civic Center TV and on Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. Coming up, I'll be talking with Suzanne Levine, Executive Director for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. But before that, we wanted to highlight a special group of women who are blazing their way to the state championship. The West Bloomfield women's basketball team is on a hot streak, a 22-game hot streak. The team, led by their new head coach, Darren McAllister, will be playing next Monday in the quarterfinals. Splash reporter Calvin Brown and I talked with sophomore Summer Davis about her journey to West Bloomfield and how the team is doing this year. Let's go check it out.
The West Bloomfield women's basketball team has been dominant this season. Their only loss came in their first game of the season against Dexter. After that, nothing but wins. With new head coach Darren McAllister leading the team, they have numerous star players that are to credit for this 20-game win streak. We talked to one of those key players, Summer Davis, earlier in the season about her journey to West Bloomfield High School.
We asked Summer what her journey has been like to get to West Bloomfield High School and play at the level she is at now.
Well, I started training and I started basketball at the YMCA just for fun and stuff, and then we got introduced into AAU a few years ago with height, and then we switched over to Michigan Storm, and then we started training with Coach Simpkins, and he's helped us train, and then we've gone on to Greg. He's been training us.
Summer won MLife Player of the Week after she dropped 31 points over Clarkston. She talked to us about how it felt to be recognized.
It felt good. I know India won last year, so it felt good to have it too. I had a lot of support from the team and my family, and then just know it was good. Just running the floor helped me a lot, getting open for layups and getting ahead. It didn't feel like 31 points. It just like, I just wanted to win the game because it was a little too tight.
The team is doing so well this season because of their leadership and hard work, but also because of their new head coach, Darren McAllister, and the way that he pushes them in practice.
At the end of this season, I want to be more of a leader. I know I'm opening up more than I was last year in the beginning of the year, and I think Coach McAllister really helped me with that too. I like how it's very hard. Like, he's hard enough, but it's like it's not bad or anything, and it's helping all of us become better players and stuff. It's been going really good. We've been getting along better on the court, and being able to like have chemistry and being able to communicate and be able to make better plays for all of us. I want to see all of us in the state championship and being able to win. And it's helping us a lot. I think we're going to win this year. We're going to win it all.
With motivated players like Summer Davis, the West Bloomfield High School women's basketball team has no doubt that their road to the state championship will be paved with victory. Good luck to the team in the rest of their journey to the championship. Reporting for the Splash Live,
I'm Maddie Muschin.
and I'm Calvin Brown.
Congratulations to Summer Davis and the entire team for winning the regional finals last night, and good luck to the entire West Bloomfield women's basketball team as they take on Troy at University of Detroit Mercy Monday at 7:30 p.m. in their quarterfinal game. Later on, we'll be taking a look at our Person of the Week, who plays an instrumental part in the success of the Lakers basketball team this year. But before that, we'll be talking with Suzanne Levine, Executive Director for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. All that and more after this short break.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Muschin. It's now time for our Friday regular guest, Executive Director for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, Suzanne Levine. Suzanne has held this position since August of 2012 and has worked diligently to support the West Bloomfield community. Suzanne, thank you so much for joining us again this morning.
Well, thank you for having me.
Suzanne, so this morning you had a very exciting event. It was the Cup of Connections. How did it go this morning?
It was great. In spite of the weather, which we know can always be a deterrent for people, especially at 8 o'clock in the morning, it was great. People are so excited to be in person again. So I'm hoping that this is just the beginning of many more successful networking events.
And could you tell us a little bit about what Cup of Connections is and where it took place this morning?
Yes. Years ago, I created Cup of Connections as a way for people to have an informal meet and greet. Originally, it was at different coffee shops, But then I decided after the pandemic, why not have them at our local chamber businesses so that people will actually see who some of our chamber members are and some of our great businesses. So this morning it was at Royal Dental Center, which is on Haggerty Road in West Bloomfield. And they were great. They talked about some new innovative techniques that dentists are using to make sure that your oral hygiene is related to your entire body health. So it was great. We had all different businesses there that are interested in networking and connecting, and we learned a little bit about each of them. And there was a great takeaway. So I was pretty excited about the turnout this morning.
Suzanne, the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce also has some very fun events looking into the rest of the year. You guys have the Health and Wellness Fair coming up. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, this is our 13th annual Health and Wellness Fair, and we're very grateful to the West Bloomfield Township for hosting it for us. It's open to the public. There is no charge to attend. There is a charge to be a vendor there. They can contact me at wbloomfieldchamber@gmail.com or call the chamber office at 248-626-3636. But what's great about it is there's a lot of free swag, which I know a lot of people love, but they also get to learn about all the different health and wellness businesses that serve our community. So it could even be financial health. It could be, about a spa. It could be a doctor's office, an orthopedist. So we usually attract a lot of people. Last year we did have it. We didn't get quite the crowd because of people were still kind of concerned about COVID. But I've noticed from going to the mall this past weekend that people are out and about and ready to, live again. So I'm expecting a huge turnout this year, June 8th, 11 to 2.
Suzanne, in the past, can you talk about some of the vendors that have been there to promote health and wellness in our Greater West Bloomfield community?
Yes, we've had Open Arms Hospice. I think the interesting thing about hospice, most people think it's end-of-life care, but actually they do a lot of other supportive care for people that are not just critically ill, but really need the support. And a lot of people actually have gotten out of hospice. So that's been great. We have Letterman Quarterwitz Orthopedic Sports Medicine. We usually have a dermatologist there to show different products. We have Connect Pay to talk about financial health with payroll. So we have like a whole gamut of great Profile by Sanford, which is weight control. We have a whole gamut of different health and wellness vendors with lots of free goodies, which I know people really enjoy.
And Suzanne, you were talking about how with COVID, hopefully on the downslope here, people are still a little bit concerned about the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as their health and wellness. How important is it to have this health and wellness fair, especially amidst the COVID-19 pandemic?
I think it's really important to have the health and wellness fair because people have neglected their health, not just worrying about, whether or not they get COVID, but, they've avoided going maybe to the orthopedic surgeon, maybe they have heart issues, kidney issues, whatever. So I think it's really important for them to realize that they have to take care of their entire health, emotional health as well. We know that there's been a great need for, therapy, not just for adults, but for children. And there's a shortage of therapists that can even serve the community. So it's really important to know what resources we have out there. And that's why the Health and Wellness Fair is so important.
Suzanne, you guys also, through the Senior Resource Group, are having those talk times at the Connect Center in West Bloomfield. You guys have one coming up next Wednesday. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what people can expect if they go to those talk times?
The talk times are great because there's different themes every month, and we have different speakers, and they're not there to sell products, they're there to give information. And so maybe it's how to organize your home for a sale. Maybe it's when is it time to actually look into a nursing or assisted living place, how to get your finances in order. So there's all different great speakers from a variety of our local chamber businesses to offer these free, it's free advice. The classes are free. They have to go to West Bloomfield Parks and Rec to to register. But I've noticed that the seniors have been the first ones out and about more than even some of the, other public people. I don't know if they just sort of feel like, they're going to throw caution to the wind because they've lived a great life, but they're back in person, and they have been since January at the Connect, which is West Bloomfield Parks and Rec offers really great resources, not just for seniors, but for people of all ages. So we're very grateful to them with this partnership. And I encourage everyone, they consider a senior 50 and over. So, and these are vibrant seniors that are looking for some information, and their children can attend too if they want to learn more about what resources there are out there for our seniors. They can also visit our website, westbloomfieldchamber.com. We have a senior resource guide to click on to see what some of the different organizations that we have that, maybe they want to talk to some of these people, like Care Patrol, that actually helps them visit facilities, and there's no charge to them, to kind of make an informed decision about their next step in their life.
Suzanne, next week for the Talk Times, there will be a couple of different people talking to the seniors. Dina Raftis is going to be there with Drums Live. There's going to be some financial advisors from Block Advisors, as well as Chief Patton from the West Bloomfield Police Department. If someone is looking to get involved with these Talk Times and maybe be a presenter or someone who is coming to talk to the seniors in our community, how can they get involved and make sure that they are talking to the seniors in our community about a topic that they are a professional in?
They can contact me at the chamber, wbloomfieldchamber@gmail.com, or call me 248-626-3636. And we do screen the presenters because we want to make sure that they're not there as a sales pitch. I mean, certainly at the end of their talk, they can, mention where they're from and hand out some promotional information. But this is really an informational talk to the seniors about important and critical issues to help them, navigate their life, and to make sure that they have all the resources they need to make informed decisions about what's best for them.
Suzanne, as we wrap up here, is there anything else that you wanted to share with our audience about these fun events or anything else going on in the chamber?
Yes, we're really excited. On July 20th, we are partnering with Oakland Chamber Network. We're going to have a huge event with the Novi Chamber, Lakes area, Farmington Hills. There may be a couple other chambers at the Novi Suburban Showcase. There is a charge to attend, and they can go, again, visit our website, westbloomfieldchamber.com, for more details, or contact me. And that should be a great networking event. And we're also working on 2 of our leadership breakfasts. And we're going to have Casey Crane again. He was such a big hit that we're going to be revisiting him with a different anchor. So stay tuned, because we're kind of forging ahead full steam to present great networking opportunities and speakers to the community.
Well, Suzanne, it's always a pleasure to talk to you on a Friday morning. Thank you again for joining us here on the Splash Live.
Thank you. And everyone, Michigan weather, so stay safe and warm.
Thank you, Suzanne. Once again, I was joined by the Executive Director for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, Suzanne Levine, talking about some of those great networking events that they have coming up. It's now time to check out our Person of the Week. This person has combined his years of coaching experience and his love for basketball in his new role as the head coach for the women's basketball team here in West Bloomfield. Darren McAllister puts his whole heart into coaching the team and making sure that they are being the best athletes and people they can be on and off the court. Let's go check out why we named Darren McAllister our Person of the Week.
Our Person of the Week has led the West Bloomfield High School women's basketball team to a 21-1 record in only his first season with the team. Head coach of the Lakers, Darren McAllister, has worked hard this year with their talented roster to bring out the best in the West Bloomfield team. After a tough loss to Dexter for their first game of the season, Darren has coached the team to a 21-game win streak, including their wins in the district and regional semifinal games. Before Darren came to coach at West Bloomfield, he coached numerous teams, including Wayne State and Waterford Kettering. His experience allows him to coach talented players to make a run for the state championship, which he is doing at West Bloomfield with players like Mayana Hooper and the Davis twins.
Is that all three of them has brought a strong role of leadership, really getting everybody on our team to buy into their role. That's not easy when you have a team that has a lot of talent. Everybody wants to show that I can do this, I can do that. But the big thing that those three players help us to do is to get everyone to define their role and go out and execute their role.
He looks out for every one of his players and wants the best for each of them. After their regional semifinal game, he even started a dance party in the locker room to celebrate. His successful season with the Lakers and fun ways of coaching is why we named Darren McAllister our Person of the Week.
If you want to go support Darren McAllister and the entire West Bloomfield women's basketball team, you can go to their quarterfinal game matchup on Monday night against Troy at University of Detroit Mercy. That game will be at 7:30. We're going to take a short break, but when we get back, we'll be talking with Jeanette Eggert. She's the president of the John and Minnie Wulu Foundation. So don't go anywhere. We'll talk with Jeanette after this break.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Teens a day die from texting and driving. Don't text and drive.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Muschin. Joining us now is Jeanette Eggert. She is the president of the John and Minnie Wulu Foundation. Jeanette, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
So could you first explain to us what the John and Minnie Wulu Foundation is and what they're doing?
Yes, the John and Minnie Wulu Foundation, we're geared toward education, seeing if we can provide additional care and services through both donations, through the collection of care packages for local schools, and also into Africa, our adopted school, the Richie M. Nixon Institute in Monrovia. So right now we are in the process of collecting a lot of items so with that we can be a blessing here and across the globe.
So Jeanette, could you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind it and how this foundation got started?
Yes. Well, I'm originally from Monrovia, Liberia, West Africa. My parents, John and Minnie Wulu, were one of the first Liberians to establish a pre-K-12 school in Monrovia. My father started kindergarten at 16 years old in Liberia, and he always knew that education was the key to success. So he and my mother, their vision was to emulate America's dream. And the goal was to establish a school and to educate youth of Liberia so that they can be productive and they can educate others in the community and excel. So they brought us here to America to get our education, and we love the American dream. And that dream had, through their school, have educated over 70,000 plus Liberians in the last 50 years. So actually, this foundation is named in their honor, and it is their dream. And hopefully we can carry it forth and continue their legacy through education, quality education in the system.
Jeanette, you talked a little bit about some of the donations that you guys collect. Can you talk about those donations and the types of things that you will send over to these schools in Africa?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we started collecting wipes and hand sanitizer. As you know, the privilege of having simple hand sanitizer, because in Liberia, we don't have too many public bathrooms for the students or for the citizenry. So what we're doing right now for the families and the students, we're hoping to create a care package. We will have hand sanitizer, mouthwash, deodorant, hands wiped, and we also are hoping to ship about 1,000 books to the Rich M. Nixon School in Liberia. So we are right now hoping to ask local shipping agencies like DHL, UPS, the United States Post Office, and other organizations to help us ship those books. And we're also going to be distributing some of those books here to local daycare centers and schools that are in need. So any help from the public, we will appreciate. We're looking forward to doing a lot more this year and into the future coming.
Can you talk a little bit about how this foundation has impacted those students in Africa, especially with all the donations that you guys are sending over there to help with their education?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to try not to choke up and cry. It is really a blessing in terms of making sure that each child can have the opportunity to have a quality education, to have somewhere to receive care package, to receive books and supplies that they will normally not have. They're so appreciative. It's a blessing. We will have on our website, the John Minnie Wulu Foundation website, some of their pictures and videos and different things that we're doing. How it is making a difference in Africa, especially in Monrovia. And with the schools open, we are able to hire local citizens to work and to be a blessing to them. So they really appreciate any gift, any assistance. We will be going into tuition payment because for a whole year, the tuition per student is only $100 US. So imagine what that would do in terms of helping them, and they really, really appreciate those blessings.
Jeanette, as we wrap up, could you share with our audience how people can help and get involved and give to the foundation in order to help those students?
Yes. You can go to the John Minnie Wulu Foundation and you can donate there, or you can do Cash App to me, Jeanette Eggert. My phone number is 248-242-0063. You can reach me anytime, Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. And we hope that we can have all the volunteers to help us put the care packages and pack up the books. So we do need volunteers to help us build this organization and keep the dream alive. I really appreciate that.
Well, Jeanette, it was a pleasure having you on today. Could you give us the website one more time in case people want to go visit and help?
Yes, so it's www.johnandminniewulufoundation.org.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us this Friday morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. God bless.
Once again, I was joined by Jeanette Eggert. She is the president and of the John and Minnie Wulu Foundation, giving back to those schools in Africa, and they're collecting donations now as well as looking for volunteers. So get involved and help for a great foundation. That's going to do it for today's show. Thank you again to Suzanne Levine and Jeanette Eggert for joining us this morning. A special thanks to our Zoom producer, Jared Clark, for coordinating the Zoom and making sure our guests joined us. As always, a huge thank you to Calvin Brown, our board operator, for making the show possible each and every weekday morning. And thank you for joining me as we explored all of the people and events in our Greater West Bloomfield community. As always, you can make sure to tune in live each weekday on Civic Center TV, on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99, Monday through Friday at 9:30 to catch up on what's going on in our Greater West Bloomfield community. You can also watch our show every morning on My Michigan TV. It's the new streaming service that covers all of the great people and events happening around Michigan. You can head over to mymindtv.com or download the free My Michigan TV app on your smartphone and smart TV. You can also check out all of our archived stories and interviews by visiting civiccentertv.com and follow us on our YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Civic Center TV. For all of our friends in Orchard Lake, Sylvan Lake, Kiko Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Maddie Muschin. Thank you for joining us this Friday morning and watching The Splash Live.
Come from different organizations,
but we work together to protect the Huron River for everyone.
Most of the pollution that goes into our rivers is carried by rainwater that flows off of roads, parking lots, and rooftops.
The leaves and bark of a single tree can retain a surprising amount of rainwater. Depending on its size and species, it could be 100 gallons or more.
It is estimated that an urban forest can reduce annual runoff by up to 7%.
Here's one thing that we know can help keep our water clean.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
There's one water, and it's ours to protect.
One of the things you can look for in your friends is a change in behavior. These can be big changes, they can be small changes in mood, physical appearance. They may be sleeping less or sleeping more, drinking more, or their eating patterns may be different.
One big change that can be pretty obvious is change in motivation. Do they no longer want to play basketball? Do they no longer want to play video games?
Now that we're spending more time online and in virtual settings, it's really important to pay attention to the language that your friend is using and the words they're using to communicate.
So when we